Hey everybody, I'm Jimmy Rance. I want to talk about something that's really not that easy for me to talk about, but I still have to talk about it. You may be, or maybe you have experienced some things that I've gone through, and if you have not, maybe you will. And so maybe this will just give you something to think about. My wife was 9 years younger than me. And the way it usually works out is the husband should die first. Well, it didn't work out that way in my life. My wife passed away. We're getting real close to a year. And buddy, let me tell you something. When your spouse passes away, everything changes. Everything changes. Life just, well, it just throws you a curveball and you got to figure a lot of things out. But one of the problems is you have to try to start figuring things out whenever you are at your emotional worst. You're at a point where you can't really think clearly because you got so much sadness and so much emotional trauma going on in your life. Don't think it can't happen to you, because it can. My wife was 9 years younger than me. I was supposed to die first. At least I thought that's the way it was supposed to be in the book of life. When she died, like I said, I was just emotionally broken. I couldn't think straight. I guess one thing I have learned through these 11 months that she's been gone is that I'm stronger than I thought I was. I'm stronger than I thought I was. I didn't think I could make it. I mean, something as trivial as this, I didn't really realize, we get into these routines and, my wife would do certain things around the house and, she did whatever she wanted to do. I never demanded anything from her. She just was very responsible. And she loved every week she would wash our sheets and she'd vacuum and do the floors and all that kind of stuff. And I washing the clothes. But when she died, all of a sudden I thought, well, I have certain things that I do, as a man around the house. But now, how did she wash these clothes? What is this detergent? What does this liquid stuff do? Where do I put it in the water? What is this? I didn't know how to do it. Come time to do the floors, I remember sometimes she would use like this Swiffer thing and she'd go all over the floor with it. And then she would come back and do something. I guess she's like, I'll just say mopping the floor, but I'm thinking, well, wait, what did she put on the floor? How did she mix it? How do you do this? And you're lost. Something as stupid and as trivial as washing clothes and mopping the floor. Hello, Jim, what do? You got to do it now. You got to do what you do, and now you got to do what she used to do. How did she make this dish? I love this dish so much that she made. Every morning she would make this for me. How did she do it? I miss what she used to make for me. I want it, but I don't know how to do it. I got to figure it out. When she died, I couldn't sleep. I really couldn't sleep. Maybe when you lost someone, you couldn't sleep either. Maybe you did like me. Maybe you lost a lot of weight. I lost a tremendous amount of weight. I really did. I went from a 3X shirt basically to, well, there was a time where it was just like large. That's a lot of weight loss for a guy. Well, I guess for anybody. I've gained a few pounds back though. Because I knew, hey man, you got to eat, Jim, you got to eat. But I don't feel like cooking, man. Who wants to cook for one person? I don't know how to cook. I know how to cook. But how do you cook for one person? Where's the motivation to do what? To make all this food for what? For me? So I got to a point where I didn't want to literally eat. So then I discovered takeout, delivery. And I would, almost every day I would order out. That's not healthy. I'm diabetic. That's not healthy. It tastes good. Everything that the diabetic is not supposed to eat, that's exactly what I'm ordering. But I had to eat. And then the hardest part, and it's still hard today, 11 months later, is living alone. And I know a lot of you just bask in living alone and having no one. You love it when your house is empty and it's silent. It's so silent that it's deafening. It's so loud. And that's kind of, after 11 months, that's where I am. I'm still trying to figure it out. Am I okay? I think so. Am I getting stronger? Yeah, I am. Am I lonely? Well, I don't know. I'm alone, but I don't know if I'm lonely. It's been 11 months, almost a year's rolled by. But I do miss sitting at the table with someone to talk to. I miss a hug. I miss when I'm laying in bed having my partner there with me that I can chat to or sleep and spoon. You can't help but not miss something and things like that. You can't help it. And then I had questions kind of not too far after she passed away. What do I do now? What do I do now, Jim? I got this big old house. I mean, it's about a 3,000 square foot house. That ain't that big, but it's big for one person. You know, it's 5 bedrooms. It's pretty big. Do I keep it? It's paid for. It doesn't cost me but about $600 or $700 a month to live here. You know, the basic expenses, insurances and stuff like that, cell phone, utility bills, did that kind of stuff. Do I stay or do I leave? And if I sell and if I leave, where do I go? Do I go back home where I've lived here for a little over 19 years now in this house? 19 years. That's a long time to live somewhere, believe it or not. It is for me, because I used to go all over the place. So do I go back home to Mississippi where everything's familiar? I know everything. I do know people there. I do have a little bit of family, not much. Most of my folks are gone and dead. Do I go back to a place that where 19 years ago I left? I left for a reason. Do I want to go back home whenever I left for specific reasons? What do I do? And then I started thinking, okay, well, maybe I don't want to go home. Yeah, it'd be fun for a week or two, get to see some people that I care about and love. But then when the newness wears off, then what? Well, I'm right back to where I was 19 years ago going, God, I wish I was out of here. And if I do go somewhere else, I keep asking myself, where do I go? There's not one place that's like a magnet drawing me in. There's not one place. There are places that I like, but the places that I like, I honestly can't afford. Really, to be honest. I can afford here and live good and do what I want to do. But to go somewhere else, I don't know. But I still think sometime whenever I look around, I go, my God, man, this is a lot to keep up with. It's a lot to maintain inside and outside. This house was built in 2002. I moved here in 2007. The house was about 5 years old whenever I moved. It was basically new, brand new. But it's not brand new anymore. Just like I'm not brand new anymore. And as time goes by, you kind of start falling to pieces a little bit, But then I think about, well, I don't really need this big house. I can afford it, no problem. I can live good. I can live the way I want to, do what I want to. If I want to travel, I can go travel. If I want to just kick around, do whatever, I can do that. I can do whatever I want to do. That was nice, Poops. Thank you. What was that about? What's the matter, boy? Did you see a ghost? Yeah. The Museum of Memories. I think about that too. But this house is like it can be my kingdom. I have, like I said, 5 bedrooms. And each room can be whatever I want it to be. It can be a spare bedroom. It can be a village room. It could be a hobby room. It could be a whatever kind of room I want it to be. It could be a place where I store preps, or I could do whatever I want to do. It's my house. It's my kingdom. I can do whatever I want in my big old house. But then I think if I move to a smaller house, I have a lot of things. Well, Bruce, you want attention, huh? I have a lot of things that I've accumulated through the years. And I like my things. If I didn't like them, I wouldn't have bought them. So I'm just supposed to give that up. But then there's times where I think, like, I don't really care about all that stuff. And then there's times where I'm so thankful that I have all my stuff. And I know, like a lot of people, that they sell and they buy an RV and they leave and they become minimalist. I understand that too. But then I keep asking myself, would I really like to live like that? Not that it's bad. Do I want to worry about the knock every night? Or do I want to go live out in some forestry land or some BLM and there's nothing? I'm a pretty modern guy now, I'm pretty modern, I'd like to think. Kind of a 21st century guy. So what do? Yeah, I could go live in the van or go live in an RV and I could be comfortable, or I could get an RV or something and put it in a campground somewhere and pay $600 to $1,200 a month. It's more expensive for me to do that than it is to stay here. I think about that too. And I don't have to give up nothing. And then there's this issue. This is not really a big deal, but it is a big deal. Because there are people out there who love the companionship of someone that loves you and you love them. And boy, do I ever miss that. But I don't miss it to the point of where I just feel like I have to settle. You know what I mean? Oh, well, I got to go get married again. I have to. I got to replace my wife. No, I don't. I've kind of learned a little bit through this 11 months that I can be alone. It's okay to be alone. But I have my moments. I have my moments where I'm just dealing with this loneliness, this quietness. No loving companionship. Nobody to share a day or a night with. Nobody to plan a holiday with. Nobody to buy a Christmas gift for. And these are things that I love. I want to move forward. I really do. But I'm still stuck, just like I was 11 months ago. I still have some same questions today that I had 11 months ago when my wife died. I don't have it all figured out. You know, whenever people get up to my age group, I guess it's expected for us to know all of the answers. We're wise. We've experienced everything. No, you haven't. And do you know everything? No, you don't. You may think you do, but you don't. I don't know what to do about certain things. So I live by that motto, when in doubt, do nothing. So after this past 11 months, that's pretty much what I've been doing. Do nothing. If someone asks me, which nobody has, but if you ask me, Jim, what should I do? My spouse just passed away. Should I sell? Should I go? I can't look. I can't deal with this. Everywhere I look, I see my spouse or blah, blah, or whatever. From my experience is no, don't do that. You're going to need a little time. And yeah, it could be kind of haunting, not in a ghostly way, but it can be, you see your wife's things and pots and pans she uses and maybe food or coffee cup that she drank from, or the coffee pot that she made coffee in, or the sheets that she bought because she thought it would be so comfortable for both of us. And that's what I mean, it can be haunting. That is the museum of memories that I'm talking about. My couch that my wife and I bought not too long before she passed away. I go by the couch and I see this one section of the couch that she sat on the last minute before the paramedics carted her out into the ambulance. And I see that spot and I think that's the last place that my wife sat in this house. So sometimes we think, let me move, let me sell, let me get out of here, I'll go downsize. Or you don't have to downsize. You can go straight across. You don't have to go down. You can move straight across if you want. And I got to thinking, okay, so I'm moving to my new house. Even if I bought new furniture, new beds, new sheets, new everything, new pots, new pans, new dishes, which I did buy new dishes. I had to. Can't get into that right now, but I had to. Whenever you move to a new place, does the museum of memories, do they follow you? Do they kind of slow down? Do they go away? Does it help? Or is it still tucked away in your heart, everything? So you can't run from it. I never could run from anything. I never could get away with anything. So just because you get older, it doesn't mean that you got it all figured out, because I promise you, you don't have it all figured out. I still don't know what to do. Do I stay? Do I sell? Do I move? Do I RV? Do I buy a condominium? The condominium sounds nice because I don't have to do anything. I don't have to keep up with outside maintenance of the lawn or any of that kind of stuff that I do here. But then again, I'm not used to noise. I don't listen to people live upstairs. I don't have people live just right on the other side of a wall from me, or on this side of the wall, or that behind me, or above me or below me. I don't have that. I have quiet, pretty much. The only noise I have really around here is my dog, and every once in a while he'll bark like he did a little earlier. That's the first time I've heard him bark in, gosh, a long time. So I don't have it all figured out. Do I pursue a relationship or not? I don't know. Who wants an older man? You know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like, and I'm just thinking out loud, what do I have to offer anybody? Sometimes I feel like a broken down old man. You get to these certain ages and things start messing up on you a little bit. You can't do what you used to do. Even though you may feel young in your mind, the body's not going to allow you to do what you think you can do. And you got to be smart. You got to be careful, You can't just go out and do the kind of work you did when you were a young person, because they have something called strokes and heart attacks. You got to be careful. You got to work that into the wonderful divine right of living life, You get older, the body ages, but the mind still is intact pretty good. Makes it tough. Okay, I guess I'm done talking. I was thinking out loud. I was thinking about my life. I was just kind of thinking, like, now what? Still, 11 months later, now what? What do I do? Or do I do nothing? I don't know. I'll figure it out. And if you're in my spot, you're experiencing a recent death, I don't have any real advice for you, with the exception of just do the best you can. Do the best you can, folks. That's what I'm doing. I'm Jimmy Rance.